Hello everyone, angry nerds, ready to suffer together today? Today we're talking about a game that has more problems than a crazy spider web. The Amazing Spider-Man for Game Boy. Oh yes, do you think it will be a spectacular adventure? Well, prepare to descend into a black hole of frustration and questionable design. Released in 1990, The Amazing Spider-Man was supposed to be the handheld version of the iconic superhero. Think of it, a Spider-Man game on the Game Boy. Expectations were high, but what we have here, well, it's a mixture of imprecise jumps, annoying enemies and shots that seem to be made of tissue paper.
Let's start with the controls. Pressing the jump button is like asking Spider-Man to do a triple somersault while tying his shoes. It's so imprecise that you'll find yourself jumping into ravines like that's your goal in life. And the webs? Oh, you thought you could swing nimbly between the buildings? Wrong. The web mechanism is slow and cumbersome, so much so that it feels like Spider-Man is throwing spaghetti at the walls hoping they will attack. Not to mention the combat Spider-Man can punch, kick and throw webs, but each blow seems to have the power of a breath. Enemies charge at you like bulls and hit you with surgical precision, while you fight against the control system.
The levels, oh, the levels. They take a great idea and destroy it with the most frustrating design ever conceived. The platformers are torture. You go from walking on the roofs of buildings to ducking into alleys full of enemies who seem to have a sniper's aim. And the respawn of the enemies? Maybe you thought you had eliminated them, but no, they're right back there, ready to break your nerves. The graphics aren't bad, at least by Game Boy standards. Spider-Man is recognizable, the enemies too, but let's talk about the sound. That music. It's repetitive like one of those little songs that gets stuck in your head and makes you go crazy. They sound like a jam tape and, for some reason, make the experience even more stressful. Every time an enemy hits you or you make a bad jump, you get those damn sound effects that sound like digital insults. And you know it's never your fault, it's the game that's trolling you.
And then there are the bosses. Doc Ock, Rhino, Lizard, they seem to have come out of a poorly drawn caricature. The battles are a mix of repetitive patterns and attacks that, at a certain point, become boring. But be careful, the game it's not easy, There are times when the bosses slaughter you mercilessly, and you stand there watching your character die, again, thanks to the imprecise controls.
In the end, The Amazing Spider-Man for Game Boy is not amazing. It's more like the frustrating Spider-Man. Sure, for die-hard Spidey fans it may have been nice to see their hero on a small screen, but with this gameplay? No thank you. There are better games out there, and I recommend you save yourself the pain. But, if you like feeling the adrenaline rush of pure anger, then this is the game for you. And that's all for today, folks. Let me know in the comments if you've had the misfortune of playing this wonder on Game Boy. And remember, even superheroes have bad days, especially when their games are like this. See you next time, and may your anger always be justified.